Disassociation in spirituality. One of the pitfalls of non-duality. I love the non-dual wisdom and approach, the very Eastern side of things, but it's also only half of the equation, in my opinion. From what I can see, we live in the duality, and in one side, yes, we are nothing. We are the essence of life. We are the life force. And it's really beyond words describing what that is. So to say it's nothing and everything, pretty much the same thing. But on the other side, we also have this body. We have this ego. We have a personality. And so the trick is to use both. You want to incorporate both sides to become whole, to become total. You don't want to get caught on one side or the other too much. I guess a good place to start with is the ego. In the non-dual community, people love to say, kill the ego, just kill your ego. Just, you don't exist, nothing exists, it's all an illusion. And it's true, this is a dream, but it's also kind of a fallacy. Again, the words don't convey the totality of what killing the ego means. For me, it means don't identify with it. Don't be too caught up in this personality structure that you think you are. I look at the ego like the lens of a camera, because it is your perspective. It is how you see the world. If you didn't have an ego, what would stop you from going off and walking out into traffic? Is there anything that would protect yourself against burning your own hand on the stove or being eaten by a tiger? Whatever the threat is in the world, just walking off a cliff. Why would you not just walk off a cliff without your ego? You wouldn't know the separation between you and the rest of the world. So it gives you a perspective, it protects you. It's a very necessary thing. To say that you're going to kill your ego completely kind of negates the fact that you need it to navigate. So I like to say, make your ego your amigo. Become friends with your ego and use it in a symbiotic relationship. It's a part of you. It is not who you are completely. It is not your full identity. Just like I have legs. I don't identify with my legs. It does not define me. And I use my legs when I need them. Like for instance, right now I'm sitting down. I'm not really using them. I guess I'm using them for balance, but I'm not using them to get around, to move. And I'm not overly identified with getting caught up in, I'm my legs. Kill my legs when I'm sitting down. I don't need to kill my legs. Same thing with your mind, your ego. Just because you're not using it doesn't mean you need to kill it. You get so caught up because these concepts are really, you have to go beyond the mind. You have to move into your heart. Your heart knows what the mind can't comprehend. The mind is great at solving problems. It's great at protecting you. It's great at seeing things, but it's not great at holding these ideas that are so broad and so complex and so paradoxical that the mind really doesn't know what to do with it. And that's fine. Just thank the mind for its role, allow it to do what it needs to do, but don't try and force it to do things that it's not designed for. It's not designed to be in an enlightened state. It's not designed to lead you to awakening. You have to use your heart and your soul and move beyond the mind and allow the mind to just follow and be needed when it's needed, and then learn to give it a rest when you're not using it. Again, this is why meditation is so important, because you give your mind a chance to take a rest, take a break, and then it begins to loosen up a little bit and a little bit. And it has momentum too. Just like if you turn off a fan, the fan is going around and around, and then you turn it off, it doesn't instantly stop. There's going to be momentum behind it. However long you've relied on your mind to lead the way, it's going to take time to slow down. And it's eventually going to find stillness. And then you can turn it back on and off, instead of just being on all the time, always running in circles like a fan. You're just going in circles. And once you can turn your mind off and move into something that's bigger than the mind, that's when you start transforming. That's when you can start integrating these concepts like non-duality. Because like I said in the beginning, this is a great concept. Non-duality is a thing. It's a part of this human experience. And we can't really put it into words. It is consciousness itself. It is so much bigger than we can capture in words, but it is a part of it. I've tasted it. When you have your spiritual awakening, your realization, you get a taste. And from that taste, then you begin to integrate, and you start to bring that into your daily life. And you respond rather than react to things. You make the decision to act. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you can take a breath, you can send them compassion and realize that person is stuck in their own game, and you can just let it go. There's no reason to start yelling at them, all these things that they can't even hear you, by the way. But we feel the need to yell at them, flick them off, do whatever, trying to get even. And once we can turn that mind off and we begin to integrate, and then we embody this truth of non-duality, we can put it into places that it's appropriate to insert it. So there's a time and a place for non-duality. And then there's a time and a place to have a personality, to be a person. You need to respect that you are a body and take care of it and enjoy having a healthy body. There was a mystic, I forget which one, in India. This is a story I heard, so I guess whatever, take it a grain of salt. But he became enlightened. He realized he was nothing. and he just sat there. And he sat there so long that maggots began to grow in his skin, and he's just became this disgusting maggot-filled corpse. And yeah, he was enlightened, but he was also neglecting his body. He didn't want to take care of himself. And I guess, I mean, on one level, if that's what you want to do, sure, go ahead. You can do that to yourself if you want. You can ignore your body and ignore taking care of yourself. But then you're also going to lose this other side of life, the personality, the body. You're going to lose the magic of being able to climb trees and swim in the ocean and all these beautiful aspects of being a person when you take care of yourself and you respect that part of being a person. So really, it comes down to awareness, bringing that awareness into your life, realizing, when do I want to apply these non-dual principles? When is it appropriate? And then when is it appropriate to respect my ego, to honor my body, to take care of myself, feed myself, all the things that comes with being human. You can't get away from that. You can deny it all you want, but at some point you're going to have to realize, yeah, you actually do have to take care of yourself. And so that's what the middle way is. That's the balancing act, holding the tension between the two polarities of being and non-being and walking that path. So hope that gave some clarification on disassociating and why it's important to associate with yourself sometimes and when. So much love. I offer one-on-one consultations. If this resonated, we can go deeper into your personal story, shadows, and gifts and discover all that. But reach out to me on my website. Otherwise, ciao. Have a great day.